I think that developers like shortcuts. Developers, we like being fast. It's like, it's a cool thing. If you're not a developer, you don't understand this. You want to be like the fastest. It's like with my hair, right? You're like in Dragon Ball Z, or like whatever, getting like the... Hi everyone, we have a very special episode today. I have Yam with me. Yam, you wanna introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name is Jan. I'm a software engineer. I'm currently working on AI project like everyone does, and I love pizza.
Amazing. Yeah, as we can totally see. And your room seems like you did a lot of preparation for this first interesting featured video with us.
No, it wasn't here.
Yeah, it's much appreciated.
It's a whole cabinet.
So today we're going to do something special. Usually we have one idea and we try to digest it and look at the marketing, the product, the competitors, the pricing, everything, the business. But today you have like 3 or 4 ideas and we're going to try to rapid fire them, right? So some of them will be money making, some of them are just gimmicky and cool. Let's just have fun and see where this goes. So let's start with your first idea, the IndieHacker editor. Well, what's that about?
Yeah. So the idea is basically IndieHacker or startup viral blog post editor. And sometimes when I'm working on a project, I'm gonna want to post about it online. And there are 2 main reasons for that. One is when I want validation. When like you go undercover into groups, they're like, oh, this is probably super annoying, right? And you try to get like a lot of engagement because you want to see what other people suffer from this problem. And the second reason why you might post in a group is like when you already have something and you want signups, right? Even if it's a landing page or it's an actual product, you just want signups. On a promote and yeah, and every time I do it, it takes so much effort, time, and like mental energy to post in each group because you want to really like get the group, get the nuance of each group or subreddit or whatever it is, because you want to go well, right? So the basic idea is you are writing a draft title and draft body, and basically you're giving a link to this group or this Facebook group or this subreddit or whatever it is, and just writing a script that takes the top 3 or 5 most popular posts of this month, do some prompt engineering to realize like what works in each one of them, and then try to take those insights and tell another prompt to rewrite my draft to make it work in this group.
Okay, so basically, let me see if I understand this. Let's say my app, let's just make it more concrete. I have an app that's Tinder for dogs, and I want to promote it on /r/cute dogs or whatever. So
yeah, love that.
I would use your tool, which is basically takes the top most viral post from that specific group I'm trying to target, I'm trying to promote at. It will understand using ChatGPT or some LLM API how to write for that group to be viral, and then it will take my original draft and convert it so it works better in that group.
100%.
Okay, cool.
100%. So the first thing to do, right, is like, it's obviously not gonna be just trying to sell hard. That's not gonna work, we know that. But like per group, there are specific things. So I can guess that the Tinder group, I don't know, but maybe it works really well in our cute dogs to put a picture with your dog, right? And then write or start with a little story about the dog. All sort of stuff like this. And basically they will take it and put it in your draft.
Very cool. So let's think how we would build it and if you need to be a developer to make this or not. So I think that a product like this, let's try to think about how we'd make it. I think it's like an editor, right? You need to write your draft somewhere, and then you want to get like suggestions or like another option. So I guess if you're not a coder, I would probably build something like this with Bubble. If you know that, that's like a no-code, low-code tool for non-developers because it's pretty simplistic, right? You need a text box, a button, and then it creates like the draft underneath or something like that. And in between, you can use like a call to the GPT API, right? Which isn't too hard if you're using Zapier or N8N or something like that. So it is doable if you're like a no-code developer.
100%. I think I wouldn't even start trying to automatically get like the post from the group, because that can be maybe a little bit harder. Just offer text box to copy paste the top 5 most popular posts.
I like it. MVP style.
Yeah, you can take it even further and just like offer the service without actually building a platform, and then just write like few prompts and tweak them to make them work really well, and just offer it as like something
Yeah, and then you can have like VAs, sitting in the back and ingesting the data people are putting in Google Form or whatever. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. So how do you think you would market something like this? I have a few ideas. It's like, what was your thought?
So funnily enough, I think I would go to like Facebook startup groups. In Israel, there is Startup for Startups, and be like, hey, I'm working on a project. Like, be very honest. Hey, my name is XYZ. I'm working on this thing for 2 weeks now. I'm really excited about it. I want to see Derek excited about it as well. So I'm giving you like free trials. If you have a post you're trying to promote in different groups and try to get leads, let me help out. I'm one way around it to make it like more engaging. And then I would see if I can get to do it like for 5 people. That's such a big step from like,
just in your head.
That's whole.
So the way I thought about it is a lot of people are posting, but their posts are not getting any traction. And I think those are your main clients. So I was thinking like, how can you reach those people? So what I would do, and this could be automated later on, but let's start with something that's not scalable. I would try to look for people posting in some communities. I would, let's say, for example, each day look at like 5 communities and see the most underwhelming posts in that group. So posts that got no upvotes or 1 upvote. And then I would DM them with their post before and after with my tool. And then I would tell them, next time you can just use that. So it looks better. Or even remove this and try to post it again and see if it works better,
That's crazy idea. I know the feeling of like posting something in like a startup group and getting like 0 traction, and that's shit. And someone send you like a better version of it like 2 days later.
And it's some kind of like engagement, right? Because that was what you were looking for, right? So nobody's engaging, and then the only person engaging, you would be kind of like interested in that, I guess. So you would definitely check it out. So do you think this is something you can sell, or is this just like a cool, side project?
So I think it's definitely starts at a cool side project. I think you can do phase 2 to it and make it something that makes money. I would explain. I think that startup founders that actually raise money are looking for how to get the first 1,000 customers. It's not that obvious. Even if they raise money and they can buy like a paid ads at Facebook, Google, they still like looking to how this makes those viral posts like important to them. And I can see a platform which you charge a monthly fee on $20-$30. I don't know, it can be super high, but they basically put in your draft like of the post you want to post and your target audience, and it's literally finding the best group for it, like top 20-30 groups for it, and just making any post to each group and just like post everything.
Interesting. So that is definitely a need. And I think that even, I'm not totally sure about where they're at right now, but Jasper AI, you know them? They do like, they rate content for you that ranks better on Google.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still not sure if they're doing this or not. I think they're $1 billion company right now. But I think there is definitely place for challengers in this space, especially if you use the like, I'll use all the viral information and kind of propagate that into the wording you're using. Because I don't think people are exactly doing that nuance. One other thing you could do, which would also work, I think, really well, would be have like a free tier per post. So if the post is not ranking, you don't need to pay for it. So only if the post is like, getting some kind of traction in each community. So you have like thresholds for each place. So Reddit needs like more than 5 upvotes. Hacker News needs more than 5. I don't know, IndieHacker is more than 2. And then like if it goes over, only then you pay for the post. And it's going to be a fixed price, so people are not like afraid they need to pay tons of money. Yeah,
that's fair. That's super fair.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think that it really depends on the customer, how much you would charge, and maybe the community and how hard you worked on having that prompt. Because I guess at some point you could also just use ChatGPT with a nice prompt. So you're paying for convenience in a way, and maybe having like extra information, like the rules of the community, which you might forget to put in the ChatGPT, or like other posts that work really well inside of your platform, and then kind of use them as training or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely cool. I'm not totally sure still it's gonna make tons of money, but it's like interesting. Okay, let's go to the next idea. What was that? VSCode?
Yeah, so the second idea is basically, okay, I'm gonna start with a story. I was a software engineer in the army. At some point, my mouse was taken away from me, and I was only used to use keyboard. And the first day of it is shit. It's really hard. You can't say anything, but
like, you're talking about the course.
What?
You're talking about the course in the army.
Yeah. It's like a thing. You need to earn your position. You need to earn your mouse. You're nothing. You need to earn it. So you take it away, and after a few days, you get like really, really good at doing everything on the keyboard. It's much faster. Fast forwards to like whatever 3 years after I finished my army service, I just switched to a Mac a few months ago, and my use of VSCode is bad. Like, I'm switching tabs in VSCode with the mouse. I'm doing everything with the mouse. I don't know how to do shit. I'll do the split screen. I remember it for a day, and I don't use it anymore. And I tried to go back and forth between like checking a shortcut to actually using it, but it's annoying. Like when you code, you don't want to check shortcuts. And the idea was super simple. Using VSCode, it's a VSCode extension. That's why you use VSCode. Just offer you what you just did with the mouse as a shortcut. That's it. Right.
So like a shortcut instructor. A shortcut instructor guide. So why not just throw out the mouse? Like, why are you dealing with this like over-engineered solution? Throw it out for 2 weeks.
First of all, as an engineer, I have to come up with a solution that takes much more time. That's a valid idea. I'm gonna put it aside for now.
Yeah. So basically, you're telling in this specifically for VS Code or for other programs as well? Like, is the main thing you want to learn the shortcuts for VS Code?
I did thought, but when you bring it up, actually, like, just people that's doing the switch to a different OS, it's so like weird in your fingers, all the muscle memory of like where the win key is. It's like take you a step back. So maybe even something for like regular users. I don't know if regular, but not for developers that really like to work fast or want to improve it at. And I can really imagine what they do.
So I do think it can help like a bunch of users, but I do like that you focused on VS Code, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's somewhere to start. Secondly, it's a lot, I think, easier to implement. We're going to talk about it in a second. And thirdly, I think that developers like shortcuts. Developers, we like being fast. It's like, it's a cool thing. If you're not a developer, you don't understand this. You want to be like the fastest. It's like with my hair, right? You're like in Dragon Ball Z, you're like whatever, getting like the fire, running. So I totally get that.
What's your typing speed? What's your typing speed?
What?
What's your typing speed? How many words per minute?
I'm actually really bad. I'm building. Yeah, I'm pretty bad. My idea is ChatGPT will work at some point, and I'll just think it, and it will work. But what's yours? I guess you're pretty like. That's what you're asking me.
So this one, I think it's 103.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm definitely worse. I code slow, but I'm okay with it. But yeah, I like the shortcut part. Like, I guess I would be a user, right? I want to get better, maybe be faster with that. So how would something like this look like? Let's say we're opening up VSCode, which is this like IDE, which means like a place where you can write code and see your files and run your code. Like, how does it work there?
So I have a few ideas in mind. One is every time you do it, you use your mouth, and you could do it better with a keyboard. It will just do a small pop-up. You could open that tab with Command 2. That's one option. It can be a little bit annoying, like having it pop up all the time. So a second option might be you can have like every, I don't know, few hours, few days, you can be like, oh, in the last 2 days, you pressed a lot. You used the mouse to move through tabs many, many times. You could do it this way, right? You use it 32 times. It took you, on average, 3 seconds each time. You could do it with a shortcut, it'd probably save a minute, 5 minutes.
Yeah. So you're getting like a report for it.
Yeah, something like that. That can be cool. I can also imagine like how many percent of the action doing VSCode is mouse based and how much is keyboard based, and then be like, oh, I have 99%, you have 97%. You know,
interesting.
So
I like that idea. I like the second one more than the first, because the first one would annoy the shit out of me. I would just like uninstall that. But having like a weekly report is also pretty cool, because then I'm like, oh shit, like I use the mouse so much, I could have saved like maybe even 32 minutes of my life just doing, some control, something. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess if I'm jumping straight ahead to like go to markets, I think I would definitely use the first tool that you talked about with like the group targeting for the Reddits and the IndieHackers of the world for productivity, specifically developer productivity. And I would try to post there about this tool and maybe even release it for free and have it so like more in-depth information and insights costs a bit. And maybe it's like a one-time payment to get the insights. So you like get the basic stuff, but if you want like extra stuff that are like totally crazy Super Saiyan stuff, you'll need to pay a bit more.
I looked around a little bit before the episode, and they're just what you just said, like the productivity developer world is just like crazy. Like there's so many like videos on TikToks of best VS codes to use on YouTube, and like Facebook groups for developers, like, and subreddits. There's so many places where like small, fun, a little bit useful, a little bit fun tools get a lot of like traction. I would definitely start there.
Very cool. So do you think you can make money out of this? Like if it's just VS Code, other than the insight report thing? Like, would you pay for something like this monthly for yourself?
I didn't pay for any VS Code extension. So I'm honestly not sure. I will. It needs to be like something extremely cool that the extra money like open up to you, which I don't have idea for right now. Would you prefer it?
I guess that one thing I thought about is I don't think this is a SaaS, because if you look at the graph of usage, I think this extension over time, it kind of converges down, right? Because I'm learning, and at some point it's not going to help me that much. So what I would do is maybe you're paying like a one-time fee for it. So you're saying, I'm going to make you increase your developer productivity by 30% at least. And if you don't get to 30%, you can have a full refund. Yeah. So I like those ideas of like success-based alignment. So what you can do is, some people will be annoying and they'll, patch your system not to send that information. So like they're gonna say I need a refund. But most people are decent, I hope, and I think they'll pay if they see that they got like a lot from it. So it could be like a fun thing, like a few dollars that I'm paying to get my productivity. Worst case, I'm getting a refund.
Sure. I don't know if it will be pay user, but I will be user. And I think that's my thing about it.
Both of these ideas that you brought up, I think they're cool because companies that are already doing something in the area can use them as marketing channels. Not every idea needs to be like super money generating. They could be like indirectly money generating by bringing a lot of users that are part of your ecosystem. So I think that's super cool too. I think I want to stop the episode. I know you have like a few other ideas that we wanted to talk about, but we're over the 20-minute limit. And it's not really a limit, it's a soft limit, but I think we're going to keep them for a new episode some other time. Hopefully I'll have better internet, and Tom is telling me that my hair needs to change quicker, so we'll see.
It's super true. I want to say it as well, yeah. I feel like blue is the next one. Like blue?
It started as blue and then it just became, I don't know.